Karna was Kunti's son. He was born before Kunti's marriage with Pandu. Due to social shame, she did not tell this secret to anyone and quietly kept the child in a box and threw it in the river named Ashwa. The story of his birth is very strange. King Kunti Bhoja had brought Kunti up. Once Maharishi Durvasa came to the king's place. Kunti welcomed him with great respect and took care of him as long as he stayed. Pleased with her devotion, the Maharishi gave her a boon that whichever god she would call by reciting a mantra, he would come and give her a child. Kunti, out of ignorance, invoked Surya Narayan to test the boon of Maharshi. At that very moment, Suryadev arrived there. Due to his intercourse, Karna was born from Kunti's womb. When she threw the child in a box, the box floated and reached further ahead. Atarath picked it up out of curiosity and opened it. He was surprised to see a living child in it. Atarath took pity on the helpless condition of the child and brought him to his home and started raising him. He considered him his own child. He was even more surprised to see the armor and earrings on the child's body, and then he felt that the child was a promising prince. He named him Vasusena. Vasu means wealth. He had wealth in the form of armor and earrings. The creator himself had given it to him, so his name, Vasusena, was appropriate. When Vasusena grew up a little, he started studying the scriptures. He was a worshipper of the sun. He used to worship the sun from morning to evening. He was also a great donor. During worship, whoever came and asked for anything from him, he would give it to them without hesitation. He had no attachment to the most precious things. He was proud of being called a donor, and with his deeds, he proved that he was a donor. There was no one as generous as him among the Kauravas and Pandavas. We get to know about him when Indra, disguised as a Brahmin, went to him to ask for his priceless treasure of armor and earrings. At that time, Karna welcomed the king of gods and gladly took off his armor and earrings and gave them to him. While giving donation, he did not think about his own benefit or harm. Although Lord Surya had earlier forbidden him not to give these armor and earrings to anyone, but the generous Karna did not know how to send back any beggar disappointed. It was because of this courage of Karna that he was named Vaikartana. If he had not given these armor and earrings, no warrior could have defeated him in the war. Indra had given these to Arjuna only for his benefit. Karna had asked for it because without it, Arjuna could never defeat him. Still impressed by his unique quality, Indra gave him an infallible power to kill men. With that power, the opponent could not survive under any circumstances. Karna had kept it for Arjuna. But Sri Krishna played a trick, and by using Karna's power on Ghatotkach, this danger to Arjuna's life was eliminated forever. Ghatotkach, who was roaming in the sky and showering fire on the Kauravas, and who had once completely distracted the entire army, fell lifeless on the ground as soon as he was hit by the power. Karna was as skilled as Arjuna in archery. Once, when a ceremony was organized for the test of the Kauravas and Pandavas weapon training on the orders of King Dhritarashtra, Arjuna had astonished everyone with his skill in weapon training. He had performed such feats. No warrior had the courage to answer him. He was winning praises by showing skills like a winner. Duryodhan was sitting quietly in awe at that time. Showing skills like Arjuna was beyond his capability. At that time, Karna arrived there and came to the battlefield and challenged Arjuna. Arjuna, the skill with which you are surprising everyone here and earning praises from everyone, I can also do that. Saying this, he strung an arrow to the bow and did everything that Arjuna had done. Karna was being hailed from all sides. Duryodhan's face lit up after seeing Arjuna's opponent. He hugged him and inspired him to fight a duel with Arjuna. Accepting Duryodhan's words, he challenged Arjuna for this. Arjuna got ready for the duel. Now there was a possibility of the fight escalating, so Kripacharya intervened and said that only a prince can fight a duel with a prince. Since Karna was brought up by a charioteer, he did not have the right to fight a duel with Arjuna, as his lineage, clan, etc. were not known properly. This was such a problem which Karna could not solve. Arjuna was left speechless. Duryodhan was also shocked because it was his plan to destroy Arjuna's pride through Karna. When Karna could not move ahead in this dilemma, Duryodhan gave him the kingdom of Anga to bring him in the category of kings. Being a king, he could now fight with Arjuna or any other prince. He was also ready for this, but due to evening, this debate stopped and everyone went to their respective homes. Then in life, Karna always met Arjuna as a rival. He had special enmity with Arjuna. He could not tolerate his fame. He came in front of Arjuna at many places, but due to not being able to tell his clan and lineage, he had to move away. He was called Sutputra because Sut had raised him. This is why even in Draupadi's Swayamvar, despite having the ability to pierce the eye of a spinning fish, he was not given a chance. It was Draupadi who had insulted him by calling him a charioteer's son and refused to become his wife. A charioteer's son does not have the right to marry a kshatriya girl. These words pierced his heart like a thorn, and he came back to his place, swallowing the blood. But his hatred for Draupadi had increased so much that when Dushasan wanted to strip Draupadi naked in the court, he did not oppose it at all. Rather, he laughed at Draupadi. When Duryodhan's brother Vikarna condemned this disgusting behavior of the Kauravas, Karna told him, "Vikarna, you were born to destroy your clan. You are shouting injustice. Whatever is being done to Draupadi is right. She is a maid, and the master has full authority over the maid." By saying this, he avenged the insult done to him by Draupadi. At that time, his heart had become as hard as stone. He insulted Draupadi in whatever way he could. He called her the adulterous wife of 5 men and rebuked her in every way. At that time, burning in the fire of revenge, he completely left the thought of right and wrong. He wanted to see and show Draupadi naked. This makes it clear that in front of the feeling of revenge, Karna completely forgot the feelings of truth, justice, and religion. This is the weakness of his character. Karna was also deceitful by nature. He used to advise Duryodhan to plot conspiracies in the same way as Shakuni used to. When the Pandavas went to exile after losing in gambling and were spending their time in Dwaita forest, at that time being influenced by the words of Karna and Shakuni, Duryodhan had reached there with his family to tease the Pandavas. But here a Gandharva named Chitrasen. They faced each other and a fierce battle took place. The Gandharva king defeated everyone with his valor and made everyone, including the family, captive. Karna had fled from the battlefield with his life. Then, on Yudhishthira's request and Arjuna's efforts, Chitrasen freed Duryodhan and others. Karna was also very arrogant. He was very proud of his valor, and to please Duryodhan, he used to say again and again that he would kill Arjuna in a moment. For this, he used to take advantage of his weapon skills taught by Lord Parshuram. Even in front of Bhishma Pitama, Guru Dronacharya, etc., he did not refrain from boasting. One day, Pitama could not control himself. He rebuked him and said, "You arrogant Karna, why do you talk useless things? You should be ashamed, remembering the bravery shown by Sri Krishna and Arjuna at the time of Kandav Dahan. Do you think Sri Krishna is an ordinary person? He will break your invincible power into pieces with his discus. Unnecessary arrogance is not the quality of a true warrior." On hearing this from Pitama, Karna became angry and threw his weapons in anger and said, "Pitama has shamed me in front of everyone. Now I will show my valor only after his death." Due to this obstinacy, as long as Bhishma Pitama was alive and fighting, Karna did not take part in the war. When he heard that he has been defeated, he became happy and came to Duryodhan's side and started fighting with the enemy. After Guru Drona, he was the 3rd commander of the Kaurava army. It is clear from this story that he was of a very angry nature, and his mind was always immersed in arrogance. And because of this, even the words of wise people sounded bad to him. On the contrary, Arjuna was patient and humble. Despite all this, Karna was a man of his word. He never went back on his word. Sri Krishna had told him that he was Kunti's eldest son and had also urged him to join the Pandavas. But even after hearing everything, he did not think it right to betray Duryodhan. Sri Krishna had said, "Karna, fighting against your brothers and wishing to kill them is a sin. Therefore, leave the Kauravas and join the Pandavas. Yudhishthira will consider you his elder brother and give you his one kingdom." Even after hearing these tempting words of Krishna, Karna remained firm on his word and said, "Sri Krishna, betraying Duryodhan is the biggest sin. If I break his friendship and join the Pandavas, then everyone will say that Karna has joined them out of fear of Arjuna. Then what should I do? My mother had made all the arrangements to kill me. It was Suta who raised and brought me up, so he is like my father. I have performed many yagyas with Sutas, and my marriage too has taken place in a Suta family. Then what relation do I have with the Pandavas? I have been dependent on Duryodhan in Dhritarashtra's house, and I have lived in the kingdom given by him for 13 years. Then how can I betray him? Duryodhan has full faith in me. It is because of my words that he has accepted this war. Duryodhan has pinned his hopes on me as Arjuna's opponent. In this situation, I can never leave my patron and friend Duryodhan and join the Pandava side. Then even if I join them, the kingdom that Yudhishthira will give me, I will have to give it to Duryodhan as per my promise. This will make all the efforts of the Pandavas futile. After thinking about all this, I say with certainty that I cannot leave my friend Duryodhan and join any other side. But yes, I do promise that my only opponent in the war is Arjuna. I will not kill any Pandava except him. This statement of Karna throws light on the greatness of his character. How sure was that generous Duryodhan? Even though he was unrighteous, he was his patron. Then how could he cheat him? He supported Duryodhan till the end and proved himself to be a true friend. Karna was completely strict towards his duty. He was not as kind-hearted as Yudhishthira and Arjuna, who would stop fighting the Pandavas as soon as he came to know that they were his brothers. The purpose of his life was to make a firm resolve in his mind and fulfill it completely. Helping Duryodhan was his duty. Even the feeling of brotherhood that arose for the Pandavas could not deter him, and even then he continued to have a harsh and jealous view towards Arjuna. Even Mother Kunti herself went and expressed her desire to bring Karna to her side, but even at that time the brave man did not deviate from his path. This was the superiority of his character. Then once again, after giving a promise to Krishna, he did not raise his weapon against any Pandava except Arjuna. He was martyred while fighting with Arjuna. Even in the Mahabharata war, seeing his bravery, Sri Krishna himself started praising him. Many times he would push Arjuna's chariot back until he could reach his side. Arjuna was repeatedly perturbed by his attacks and could not understand how to defeat this supreme warrior. Finally, completely disheartened, he looked at Krishna. The wheel of Karna's chariot had sunk into the ground. He was trying to take it out. At that time, on Krishna's signal, Arjuna resorted to injustice and killed him. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult to kill that brave man. And if he had Indra's infallible power in his hands, then no one could have defeated him, and it was certain that he would have killed Arjuna and blown the trumpet of victory. But this was the way of destiny. He had already used his infallible power on Ghatotkach. Now he did not have any special weapon. Still, Arjuna was able to kill him with great difficulty. Wherever his bravery has been described in Mahabharata, he has been considered as brave as Arjuna, and he was equally brave. One thing that blemishes Karna's bravery is that he was also deceitful. He did not always resort to truth and justice. He had killed the young prince Abhimanyu inside the Chakravyuh, along with others. He had cut down his bow, and then 6 great warriors had attacked that unarmed boy together. He was one of them. The crime of killing an unarmed boy will always be associated with his character. That is why, despite being so valiant, Karna cannot be considered a great man like Arjuna. His heart was tainted. Looking at Karna's character in this way, it appears that he was great in some ways and was also fallen due to some of his behavior. His greatness lies in his being a generous person, in his strong determination, in his being the confidant of his friends and protectors. But deceit and fraudulent behavior, unnecessary pride and anger reduce the dignity of his character. He was so valiant that as soon as he died, Duryodhan lost all his patience, and now he was beginning to fear his defeat. And that is what happened. After Karna's death, the Kaurava army was destroyed. Duryodhan himself was killed by Bhima. The Pandavas won the war.